Well, as the real estate market continues to improve slowly but surely here in San Diego, it's just going to get more and more competitive. And you want to make sure that you avoid the 5 things that buyers and sellers should never do if they're serious about making a deal. Bryan Garrity, our real estate expert, is here this morning. We're going to hit this whole real estate thing from a different angle today.
We're going to.
This is fun. Okay, the first thing that you should not do.
Don't be a trash talker. Number one, it's irritating for everybody. It's irritating for the listing agent. It's irritating for the seller. It's hurtful for some sellers too. But buyers that go into people's houses usually have an agent with you. You should anyways. While you're there, if the sellers happen to be there, keep your comments to yourself, especially if they're negative in nature. We understand maybe not everybody has the same taste, but know that the people that live there have done their best and their heart's attached to that house.
Right.
So I don't want to listen to your nonsense, trash talking, you know what.
And you know, if you've ever sold a home and you've had an open house, you hear those comments from people that come through.
If you're the seller, you need to leave. When there's going to be showings, just go out, take a drive around the block, walk the dog, whatever it is that's your thing to get out, just get out.
If you're the seller, put out the fresh baked cookies and get out,
baby. You know that. I'm telling you, get those odors out of there.
Right, so trash talking, and that both sides, but especially in this case, we're really talking about the potential buyer. Try to talk down the house in hopes of it driving down the price at some point.
Correct.
Not going to happen. You're just going to tick people off.
Well, you're not going to get your offer accepted, number one. Because I'll tell you, anytime we do something like that, a couple offers will come in. The sellers will always be like, was that those two? Blah, blah, blah. You know, people listen. They get their feelings hurt.
Okay.
All right.
Being unqualified for mortgage financing, and could it be any more aggravating? And people talk about their homes falling out of escrow and so forth. As a buyer, don't you have to get pre-qualified if you're really going to be taken seriously?
So if you want to test your agent and see how good they are from a buyer's perspective, if you go to an agent as a buyer, and the first thing they should ask you is, have you been pre-qualified for a mortgage? If so, show me. If so, give me your lender's name and number. Because you want to call as an agent and find out what the qualifications really are. Because as a seller, you're relying on the fact that the person putting in that offer is qualified. What I do on my listings, I know. Daddy puts his big foot down. It's like, but I'm not having it. I'm not having the nonsense with buyers agents writing ding-dong offers. I just am not. So if an offer comes in on ours, everyone has to get pre-approved through my preferred lender, who's West Shaw at RMP Mortgage.
Well,
Got to give them a plug
now
there.
Here's something, though, that I would really think I would enjoy about working with you is you really do have a lot of fun doing this.
We do.
And you're funny. You keep a good sense of humor. But when it comes to the no-nonsens part of this, you don't screw around.
No.
And I've seen you turn on a dime. When the conversation goes south, you're like, oh, hey, hold on, yeah.
Banks are acting up. That's next. Get ready. They're just like, I saved it. And then it goes into like making unjustified lowball offers. So you as the buyer, everybody thinks, oh, it's a buyer's market. We're going to get a deal, blah, blah, blah. Even if the house is in short sale, okay? Short sale is market. You've got your regular traditional sales where the buyer's getting equity out. You've got your short sale where the buyer's in a bad situation, still trying to do the right thing and work with the bank. Those two areas, just know that though somebody owns that house, somebody's got a dollar in mind. People say when you're short selling, why should you care? Well, if you're going to have deficiency exposure, you need to get the maximum offer. But on a traditional sale, it's like, you want to make sure that the offer that the seller feels comfortable with. Now, me as a listing agent, that's my responsibility to educate the seller. I get a lot of sellers that think their home is worth a lot more than what it actually is. So I'll sit down and really do some really, really intense back and forth, getting to get comfortable with the dollar amount, because there's nothing worse than an overpriced listing. It'll sit there and be stale.
Sit forever.
Flip side of the coin, nothing worse than a lowball offer. All it does is it insults the seller, ticks them off, and if you really want that house, you're going to probably lose it. So I don't know. You need it's agents' strategy. Buyers need to be smart. You've got to think out your offer. Look at what's going on in the neighborhood.
And this is why you're walking folks through this, and again, that's why I appreciate. Hit these last two really fast because I want to show some photos here. Renegotiating midstream once you've really already talked about it and trying to go back and redo the deal. No.
That's a big no. People will write high offers with the intent of going in knowing it's not going to appraise or knowing they're going to ask for a big request for repairs, etc. Don't do that. Write the offer that you think is going to be fair. And if somebody does write an offer that's over what you think the value is, then you make sure that they have liquidity to cover what you think it's going to appraise at versus what the actual offer is.
Okay, final thing, misleading or setting up the seller, and then, like I said, I want to get to those photos here and show what you do for folks.
So that is another, it's another turnoff. It's hand in hand. It goes in with writing an offer that's too high, leading him down the well, like, oh, this is going to work, and then all of a sudden your appraisal contingency is up, or it's time for you to put a request for repairs in, and you're overdoing. Like, oh, we offered you $500,000 on a $400,000 home. Now we want $100,000 repairs. Photos. This is a great condo. It's downtown. This is one that's had a lot of activity. Again, you can see he's impeccable in taste. Great guy. It's in the Discovery Building on the 8th floor. It's got great views. But this is an example of when you're going to sell your house, you need to keep it in order. And I feel militant. I don't mean to, but it's like, if you want me to get you top dollar, this is the kind of stuff we have to do. Your house has to be in this kind of shape.
Okay, so let's do this for folks. I know if you're willing to do this again, many times when you come in, you'll offer the first 3 callers what's called free staging, which is getting their house ready to sell.
Correct.
And it's doing the digital photos, and it's getting everything perfect for the presentation.
Right.
So are you willing to do 3 again?
We'll do it. But I'm telling you, they're good. I've been good. We've had the people come and take us up on it. They've been really happy, and I'm glad that we're able to do that.
All right, go see Bryan Garrity. The first 3 callers, free staging, which means that the photos get done. He gives you the advice. You get the house in primo shape and get everything perfect so that when that first potential buyer walks in, you're not trying to make midstream adjustments after that possible buyer has come and gone.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Very good. All right. For more information, you go to san-diego6.com. Click on San Diego Living. Good to see you.
Good to see
You're
you
going to be
again.
mad next time, aren't you?
Yeah.
What are we talking about next time?
We're going to talk about the banks and their nonsense. They were getting better, and now they're going backwards.
Back to nonsense.
Yeah, we need to catch people up.
Don't mess with Big Daddy.
No, don't do it.
All right.